Hi everyone! In this unit, we're learning about unpacking a standard. I'll be discussing elementary education in second grade mathematics. I'll be covering the standard, the source of the standard, and why I chose it. I'll be going over the big ideas and skills needed to master the standard, some projects and activities to use, as well as types of assessments I'll use to assess students' mastery. Let's get started. So the standard I want to focus on is understand place value. In Hawaii, we use the Common Core. So I got this from the Common Core State Standard website. In this standard, students will understand that the three digits of a three-digit number represent amounts of hundreds, tens, and ones. For example, 706 equals to 7 hundreds, 0 tens, and 6 ones. Within this standard, there are two following cases for students to also understand, which is 100 can be thought of as a bundle of 10 tens called 100, and the numbers written in 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900 refer to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9 hundreds, and 0 tens and 0 ones. On the left is the standard I'm covering, which is understanding place value. On the right is the standard of learning number operations in base 10. And so the reason why I chose this standard is because it helps students understand the meaning of numbers. Without learning this concept, students struggle with when regrouping ones and tens or borrowing, and algorithms for adding and subtracting multi-digit numbers make little sense. Place value encompasses not only position and value of digits, but also decomposition of numbers and numbers' relationships to others in the number system. So what's the big idea? So the verbs are what the students is to do, is to understand that the three digits of a three-digit number represent amounts of hundreds, understand the three digits of a three-digit number represent amounts of tens, understand that the three digits of a three-digit number represent amounts of ones. The noun, what the student is to know. Three-digit number represent amounts of hundreds, three-digit number represent amounts of tens, and three-digit number represent amounts of ones. So what's the big idea? So they're going to be learning about and explaining that 100 is a 10 groups of 10, represent each digit in a three-digit number using 100, tens, and ones. Explain the value of each digit in a three-digit number place value. Explain the value of a zeros in a given 100 as 0 tens and 0 ones. Decompose a three-digit number value three-digit number in various ways. So 734 is 7 hundreds, 3 tens, and 4 ones, or 6 hundreds, 13 tens, and 4 ones. So what skills students need to master this standard? They need to learn vocabulary words of ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, be able to count and identify to 1,000. Count by fives, count and add by tens and 100s. For any given number between 100 and 900, mentally add 10 or 100 or subtract 10 or 100. They must understand odd and even numbers, tell whether there are an odd or even number of objects in a group by putting them into pairs or by counting by 2. Read and write large numbers through 1,000 using numbers and number names. Relationship between ones, tens, and hundreds. 10 ones equal 110, 10 tens equal 100. Add and subtract large digit numbers. Solve one-step and two-step word problems by adding or subtracting numbers through 100 and adding and subtracting within 1,000. And the 21st century skills that they're going to be using is creativity and innovation, is being able to think creatively and work creatively with others. Critical thinking and problem solving, including but not limited to reasoning effectively, solving problems, communicating clearly and effectively through reading, writing, and speaking, collaborating and working effectively in diverse groups, demonstrating initiative and self-direction, working independently, demonstrating leadership and responsibility. construction and exploration of new understandings where knowledge is gained through integration of content from one subject to another using multiple modes in learning. So here are a few activities we'd like to use to learn about place value. So this first activity is called Roll a Dice Worksheet. So they have a pair of dice they're going to roll, and the first number they see is written on the left. The second number is written on the right of the worksheet under Roll It. And then they're going to draw the hundreds, tens, and ones. And they're also going to write the expanded notation equation. In the place value bingo, this will be on PowerPoint. On a slide, I will have drawings and they will find the answer on their bingo card and mark it. 5 in a row wins. And what's great about this game is that I'm able to differentiate it according to the student's level of understanding. So as you see in the worksheet on the right of the picture, it has 2-digit values for those who hasn't reached the 3 digits or learned about the hundreds value yet. And this activity is like one of my favorite. I love to use QR code scavenger hunt. I'm hoping to use this in my future classroom, so I cannot wait. So the QR codes are scattered in the classroom and will be color coded. The front of the class is the starting point. There will be a map of the different colors they need to find in that specific order. And so students will record their answer on a sheet of paper and turn that paper into me at the end. If they answered all questions correctly, they will receive a reward. So I would want to know if my students learn place value. So prior to starting this unit, I will give my students a form of pre-assessment to help guide my instructions of what students know and what I want to teach them. This also helps me differentiate and put them in groups such as heterogeneous or homogeneous. After learning place values, I will give each student an exit ticket to see if they understood the unit. Another strategy of assessing students' mastery and gain instant feedback is writing a prompt on the board with questions like, in which place is the 6 in this number, 678, and the answer would be tens. Students will be given 30 seconds to answer and write on their dry erase board. They are lifted up towards me so I can assess each student. So by the end of the unit, I would want to know that all my students learn place value. I will also use summative assessments such as a quiz, a short quiz, and an independent place value assessment worksheet. The questions on assessments throughout the unit will be much less. However, at the end of the unit, I will probably have about 10 to 15 questions to answer. So 1 point for each question answered correctly. And this concludes my video on understanding place value. So I want to thank you for taking the time to view my video, and I hope you enjoyed it.